Hey everybody, today I'm going to show you how to add oil to your Generac generator. The oil is something that you want to check approximately every 48 hours to no more than 72 hours of continuous use. Now I'm over here at my brother's house currently, and I'm going to add oil to his generator. Now this house is under utility power, so this generator hasn't been running for a while. Now, if you happen to still be under generator power, you can still do this, but there are a couple of important steps that I want you to do before you try this, okay? So the first thing you want to do is go inside your house and find your circuit panel's main breaker. And in most cases, the main breaker for your house will be the large one at the top of the panel, like such. So just know, of course, when you hit that, any lights you have on because of the generator will go out. And if you happen to have any air conditioners running or whatever, go to the thermostats and just turn those off. That way, when you apply power again later on, there's no big surge of power on the main breaker, all right? And after you do that, obviously open the lid, and then you want to hit this breaker right here. And then it says to wait just about a minute for the generator part itself to cool down, I guess because it's not under load. And then, of course, after that minute comes by, you can obviously hit off to stop the engine from running. In this case, you're just seeing both these lights on right now because it wants us to inspect the battery, but we'll ignore that for now. So then you hit off, and then obviously the engine will stop. Now, in this case, if you're going to do, or rather, let me say that again. If that case, once your engine stops, wait for about, I'd say, maybe 15 minutes to a half hour, just so it can cool down, because a good rule of thumb is, if the engine is hot, the oil is hot. So obviously, you don't want to burn yourself, so just keep that in mind, okay? But in this case, this generator has been off since yesterday, so I know everything is cool to the touch and okay to handle. And checking the oil on this device is very similar to how you would check oil in like a car engine, for example. So what you would do is you would simply pull out the stick. Now, it would be best to have two hands to do this, and then what you want to do is you want to wipe it off, like so. And then after you've done that, go ahead and insert it back in, and then see what it says when you take it back out. Sometimes it may be a little fidgety to get back in, but, you know, just be patient with it. Don't try to force it, and you should get it in. All right. And if you notice, yeah, this oil is definitely low. You can see it's barely on the add portion of the dipstick. So this generator definitely needs oil added to it. And like I said, as I said, about every 48 to no more than 72 hours of continuous use, you should definitely check your oil just to be sure it doesn't run low and then possibly have any engine damage. Now, if you're not sure what kind of oil your generator should take, just check your owner's manual. It'll give you all the information that you need to know. In this particular case, this generator requires a full synthetic 5W30. You can choose any brand you want. I just have the CarQuest brand here, but if you use, you know, Pennzoil, Prestone or Valvoline, whatever, you can use whatever brand you want. This is just the brand that I chose. And then again, so this particular generator takes full synthetic 5W30. If you're not sure, you know, like again, check your owner's manual. It'll give you all the information that you definitely need to know. Now, depending on what kind of funnel you have or whatever, you may not have to do the step that I'm about to do, but I'm just going to do it anyway just so you guys can see if you have to do it. So what I'm going to do is you can take off this front panel here to give yourself more access. What you do with this is you simply just pull it straight up. You got to be a little forceful with it. Oh, there we go. Just remember, lift it straight up. Don't try to pull it forward. And we just lay it down right here. Okay. And now you can see you have much more access to everything should you need it. And what we're looking for is right here. This is the oil fill cap that you will need to take off to put the oil in. Now, depending on what kind of funnel you have, you may have to take off this bar here, but taking this off is very simple. What you will need is you'll need a 10mm socket or wrench, and you simply take off this right here, and this right here as well. If you're taking this off, it's probably a good idea to take off the front panel because you have more access, as you can see there. Okay? So then, if you need to, remove this bar, and then we can get the funnel in. And simple enough, you just unscrew the cap. Okay? And then, you know, put the funnel in just a way to make sure that it'll be securely in there. Now, let's see. So if I put it in this way, that does feel pretty secure, but with these kinds of long funnels, you can also put it this way if you want. As you can see there, the spout is fully in, and this funnel is not going to fall anywhere. So, you know, if you have a funnel like this, you can put it behind the bar or in front of the bar, but you may want to hold the funnel if you do it from here. But in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the funnel up in here, and I'm going to fill the oil up this way. And now you can simply go ahead and start adding your oil. If you're unsure of how much to add, admittedly, I'm not sure either, just add a little bit at a time. You know, you don't have to go overboard. Just add a little bit, check the stick, and repeat that process until it's at the right spot. So simple enough, you just, take the cap off your oil container. As you can see here, this particular one says to pour it with this being like kind of on top. I'll show you right here. So you just take the oil container and start pouring it into the funnel. See, just like that. And like I said, put a little bit in, and then stop, okay? And then, simply enough, pull the stick out again. If you want to wipe it off again, you certainly can. Just, if you want to be as accurate as possible. Again, 2 hands would be ideal for this right here. Put it back in. And you can see here it definitely did go up a little bit, but there's still plenty more to add. So, I'll show you the step one more time. Put it in. Okay. And then just take your oil container and start pouring more in. Just like that. That's basically the steps you have to do, okay? So basically, keep pouring in the oil and check the stick occasionally. Now, the oil is full when it's up to that second circle. The one that's away from the add mark. Once the oil is up to that second circle, you're right where you should be. So let me go ahead and get the rest inside here. Okay, and we should be all set. I'll just show you the level. I already took the stick out and wiped it off, so I don't have to do that again. So let's go ahead and put it in. Okay. As you can see here, that looks much better. See how it's up to that second circle? That's exactly how you want it to be. Now, if it's just a tad past it, that's not a big deal. The engine can easily handle that, and as long as it's not too overfilled, you're fine. But if it's at the circle or just a tad above it like that, that's totally fine. So there you go. Now the engine has the proper amount of oil, which, as many of you I'm sure know, is very, very important, all right? So then, simple enough, you simply just take out your funnel, and I'm just going to put it on the paper towel here so it doesn't drip anywhere, and put your cap back on. Okay. And then getting the front panel back on is a little bit of a task. You can see that you have these 2 things right here, okay? And you have these 2 openings right here, all right? So you have to try to line those up with those. And these metal side tabs you have right here, all right? You have to try to hook them onto here and over here. I'll try to show it to you the best I can, but I may need 2 hands for it. So again, we'll just pick up the panel, and we'll try to line up those 2 things in those holes right there. Okay? And then you just kind of have to get that tab on there and that tab on there. And actually, that went in very easily. That was very good. All right, so then basically at this point, your thing is all back together. Make sure you have your stick and your cap back on, and just remove anything loose from the engine, just to be safe. All right, and that includes your oil container. And then basically, we're on utility power, so all we have to do is hit auto. Okay, and we're all set. Now, if you don't have utility power, what's going to happen is you're going to hit auto, and then the engine's going to take a few seconds to just detect that there's no utility power, and then it's going to start up, okay? And then once it starts up and the engine sounds like pretty steady, like it's running, has a good solid run, you can go ahead and flip this breaker back on, okay? Then you can go back into your house, flip that main breaker back on that I had showed you, and again, if you have any air conditioners running, after you flip the main breaker back on, then you can go back to your thermostat and turn it on, and then you're all set. And then, of course, simply close the lid, and you're good to go. So that is how you add oil, and also check it as well, to your Generac generator. Hopefully this video was helpful to you, and if you have one of these, I hope that solves any mysteries that you guys may have regarding the machine. Thank you very much for watching, and take care.